Welcome to Tanks Invest. We're talking about investing, finance, and professional development. That's a recording time of exactly 1 p.m. on the Eastern Time right now. Ethereum is currently $3,941, up about 1.70% so far. On the overall crypto market is flat to up right now with respect to the leading coins. Bitcoin and Ethereum both are up respectively close to about 1.5%. Some altcoins are a little bit more primarily driven because of its own micro affectation. But I think overall market, because of the lack of media affectation and frankly, we have, seen a relatively more of a normalized day so far from the consecutive volatility that we've been enduring for I would say, the past couple of weeks so far, right? Just talk about the past week, right? The FOMC meeting, the Omicron news, the quad riching, UK interest hikes, the tapering, all of these type of macro affectation basically drove some sort of an emotional roller coaster combined with fear onto the translations of the price that we're seeing right now. And let's dive right into the news first, because of the momentum that we're seeing right now is relatively more of a normalized level. But with respect to some of the news, I'm seeing some kind of a mixed bag news, but some negative news that's popping up in the last couple of hours so far that we should be addressing and we should be be mindful of. So the first one's on with respect to Cointelegraph about 3 hours ago about Death Cross that pushes Bitcoin price to 28,800 reappears. So it seems like there is an ominous signal with respect to the technical front, but what they're referring to on the Death Cross on Bitcoin, if you just take a look at it right now, they're referring to the monthly perspective. You could take a look at it right now. You could see clearly that we are crossing down right now on a monthly perspective. We are still at the 60 out of 70. That if we're gonna crack down, obviously we're gonna go down further into the $30,000, right? But if you could take a look at the resistance level, that's technically at the 28,990, which is the next consolidation level. We've taken take a look on this on a monthly perspective. But monthly is definitely not the best representations. I mean, ultimately, we do not really know the incentives behind Cointelegraph and with respect to analysts, why they saying that the Death Cross, it is looking like it's coming, but if you took a look at this on a weekly perspective, we crossed it already, and that's the reason why we have been selling down, ever since when we were at the peak of 64,530. If you look at a daily, which is my preference in terms of looking in technicals, because it's the just granular enough but not too high level that you are convoluted your perspective in terms of the more of a neutral technical analysis, right? It gives you just that good level of activities in terms of understanding the market psychology without being too away from the true perspective, combining both the macro and the micro, right? So I think 28,800. I mean, it's kind of like a made up news, to be honest with you. I don't really believe that's the true representation. I mean, it is something we have to look out for, but it's on a monthly perspective. So 28,800. Especially knowing the fact that we look at the frame of monthly, it's gonna take some time for us to get there. So I think this news is just basically fear mongering driver, more media affectation on the manipulative front. Right, and then the next one is talk about with respect to CNBC 4 hours ago. Talk about with respect to the recent activities on Chinese ban on crypto mining, but despite that is there seems to be some illegal underground farms in Sichuan regions of China that's percolating, and they seems like there's still activities on workers, or can you even call these workers, that are slowly transferring their cryptocurrencies mining rigs from one region, in Sichuan, which is like the most concentrated area based on the article that we see in front of us, to other regions of the world, on to further cultivating the mining proposition that they've been doing. Because just because China has banned them, that doesn't stop the clock from running on the international side of the perspective, right? So seems like they are being resilient, and try to dodge the obviously the legal regulatory constraints that they've been facing right now. And the next one's on Cointelegraph about 7 hours ago. Talk about Bitcoin bears lack balls to continue selling into 2022. Another weird news. It seems like Cointelegraph is speaking both sides of his mouth. Like one article is talking about death crosses coming, the other side is talking about Bitcoin is lacking the balls to sell off further. It's like, what are they trying to do? Like, it's like psychologically they try to manipulate people's mindset. I mean, Cointelegraph, it is what it is, right? It's not the most reputable news front, but it is what it is. They do have specific incentives behind what they want to be doing. I mean, ultimately, I don't really believe what they say, and I just read the technicals, and that's the truth to me, right? Because that tells you complete truth with respect to the psychology in the market so far. So I'm not sure what they mean by lacking balls, right? It sounds like just more of a fear mongering and some sort of manipulative news. Or can you even call this news to begin with? And then the next one's on Bitcoin is about 8 hours ago. Taught Latin America at the tipping point. Is the region cooling down on Bitcoin adoption? I mean, we just saw that El Salvador have recently officially announced that they are converting their ecosystem financially, obviously also on the commerce side, onto adopting Bitcoin, right? There's going to be with respect to how they transact, people's how they're going to be paying their bills, their phone bills, how they transact for the food. Everything is going to be cultivated based on the value proposition of Bitcoin going forwards, right? So we are at the gradual progressions of this adoption. So cooling down just seems like it's more of a wash type of news. It seems like they are trying to convince or persuade public investors that Latin America might not be adopting Bitcoin as prominently as we are ideally like to see. But I could have sworn that they were just talking about this about like a month ago, where they were very bullish on this adoptions or commercialization fund on the Latin American front, but now they're speaking on the other side of their mouth. So seems like they are having a tough time, basically contemplating which size of a coin do they want to be on. So again, more suspicious, manipulative news, if you may, right? And then the last news that I see here before I go into the technicals with respect to Cathie Wood, she says that the market has corrected into deep value territory and won't let the benchmarks hold our strategies hostage. So Cathie was comparable to the way I kind of approach investing, right? We believe in the long-term value proposition of these investments. We typically hold it for a minimum of 3 to 5 years out. And with respect to some of the corrections I've been seeing so far, I would say it presents a great value add to dollar cost average at the ideal risk level, right? So I believe, I can understand, and I can understand why she's been defending her thesis publicly on, various different media platform. And I think, with respect to her belief and, not allowing her strategy, which is long-term value investing, in hostage because of short-term volatility, resonates with me strongly. And I respect her, the way she approaches investing, the way she with respect to her investment methodology as well. I agree with a lot of her propositions that allows her to be a successful fund manager. So let's just dive right into the technicals right now. As a recording time of 1:08 p.m. on Eastern Time, Ethereum could trade $3,942, up about 1.73% so far. On the overall market front, we could see that clearly we are hovering above the 3,850, away from the 4,000 mark, where we're basically $60 away. So I give that benefit of doubts that we are consolidating just around the 3,850, right? And what we're trying to do as a next level right now, we're at the 44 out of 70, crossing upwards slowly. We could see that we have some minimal sign of reversal at the moment. And right now it's flat because of lack of media affectation, despite some negative news cultivated around Bitcoin. it is what it is, right? Nothing really specifically microly driven towards Ethereum. So right now it's sustaining. So with respect to placing your limit order, I think 3,850 still holds. 3,475 still holds. 3,150, I think that will be a stretch from here because of the normalization. I think the major hurdles that we've already seen so far has already been passed, right? I do see some optimism ahead of the market. With respect to Bitcoin, there's some negative news that has been percolating in the last couple hours so far. But I'll just kind of stay away from it and just stay within your frame of reference right now with the 36 out of 70 and slowly crossing upward right now. So I think Bitcoin is still bullish. I don't really see 28,000 to be even a possibility in the near term, especially not within this the remainder of December. I don't think that's really logical because that will completely destroy the chart and create a huge outlier onto the momentum that we're seeing right now. Unless the whales collectively want to dump on the corporate front, but that's highly unlikely. You know what I'm trying to say? And Dogecoin right now is currently up about 2% right now at the 40 out of 70, still curving up. I would say the surge that we saw was relatively short-lived. That's the reason why we're selling back down right now, hovering around at the comfort level of the 17 cents. So ideally, buying at somewhere around the current level to the bottom, 15 cents is still logical if you believe in this long term. Cardano is up about 2% right now. Anywhere from 134 to 120 is still the dip for us. Solana is up about close to 3% right now, hovering. We are about to form a golden cross. So I think we are trying to get to the 200 all over again, but we're going to see some resistance around 195, which is the level that we have consolidated before. So something to watch out for, but I do think that we will have a chance of actually reaching around 195 shortly. XRP is up about 2.85% right now. Anywhere from 88 to 78 is still a good dip for us. I think right now it's not terrible. Do we see like 68, 69? I don't think so. Do we see 57? I think that's highly unlikely actually because of the fact that that will completely destroy the chart and you'll be extremely oversold by then. Respect to polkadot's up about close to 1% right now. I think current level is the dip. We are at the 33 out of 70, so it's not terrible for us to incur some risk at the moment if you believe in the long term. Algorand's up about 2% right now. Anywhere from the current level to 130 is still the dip for us. And Shiba Inu is up about 1.32%. Again, anywhere from 2,900 to 900 is still the dip for us. Polygon is up about close to 3% right now. 175 to 143 is still the dip for us, right? Right now, I would probably stay away and just hold if you bought in at these 175 a couple of days ago. AVAX up about 4% right now, still surging up because of the golden cross. I would probably stay away and just hold for now. Again, right, 81 cents to 60 cents was still the dip for us, right? With respect to risk management level, these are levels I identified so far. Let me know if you have any specific questions. Happy to address them specifically or individually. Definitely a lot of media manipulations based on some of the activities that we're seeing among publications, companies. But it is what it is. Ultimately, we have to use that spidey sense to filter out the noise that we hear on a daily basis and to formalize the right logical methodology that works for you, right? So I really appreciate you. Hope you guys have a great Saturday. And let me know how it goes as well. And stay tuned to come up. Take care. Bye.